How are rental properties taxed during ownership? So you're considering purchasing an investment property, or you have one, but you're curious about what exactly goes on tax-wise during the ownership of the property. Before we get into what happens with your taxes when you first buy the property, when you're actively renting the property, and when you go to sell the property, let's go over some key tips about rental properties and taxes. First of all, running all transactions through an LLC is an awesome idea for legal protection, to separate the rental property from any other asset that you have. But this is purely a legal strategy. It has nothing to do with taxes. You might be tempted to consider creating an S-corporation to put your asset in, but don't. It's not necessary. Do not put an investment property in an S-corporation. Rental income is not subject to self-employment income taxes, so the S-corp doesn't save you a dime. In fact, it makes the ownership more complicated because now it's technically held in a corporation, as opposed to a disregarded entity. Okay, so let's talk about the tax implications during the life of the property. The great thing about rental properties that are cash flow positive is that the initial down payment is usually the only money that you need to come out of pocket for. The tenant will essentially cover the rest of the monthly expenses with their rent payments. But the bad part about that is that the initial down payment that you put on a property is not a tax deduction for you. The down payment is made with after-tax dollars to lower the loan cost. The difference between the value of the property and the loan that you owe to the bank is your equity. So when you make that down payment, you're increasing your equity in the property, which is a good thing, but it has nothing to do with taxes. It's a common misconception. You're paying $50,000, $70,000, maybe $100,000 at closing, but that cash out of your bank account is not the same as a business owner paying $50,000 for a billboard to advertise their business. There is no taxable event created when paying that down payment money.